feels like you'll come along now. Baby, you coming through. Do what you gotta do. Take it to the big scene, take it all. Go for hope and glory. Go, go long. Baby, for love. Go all for love. We're going for love. For beating hearts off the charts. Love. Go all for love. We're going for love. Baby, going for love. Baby, for love. I bet you'll get it right, but don't get me wrong. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Go like a satellite, just go like a star now. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Take it to the big scene, take it all. Go for hope and glory. Go, go long. Baby, for love. Go all for love. We're going for love. For beating hearts off the charts. Love. Go all for love. We're going for love. Baby, going for love. Baby, for love. Take it to the big scene, take it all. Go for hope and glory. For beating hearts off the charts. Take it to the big scene, take it all. Go for hope and glory. For beating hearts off the charts. I bet you'll come around, but don't get me wrong. Do what you gotta do. Baby, for love. Go all for love. We're going for love. For beating hearts off the charts. Love. Go all for love. We're going for love. Baby, going for love. Baby, for love. For beating hearts.
All right, that's better.
Sorry about that.
And volume is way high. I don't know how that all happened.
Let's try this again. We're moving out the old to make way for the news. I'm Sandy.
And I'm John.
And this is the Smart Doll News.
Welcome back to the Smart Doll News live edition, which every edition is live.
It's always live, yeah.
Every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not watching us live, you should join us. We want to say thanks to a couple of people right off the bat. First up are our super smarties.
Amy Zickerman, Angel Kitty, and Kiki Doll. Thank you so much for your super chats last week.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and it helps us continue to build this channel. We also have to thank Danny for not only doing a drop last week in the middle of our stream, sort of stream, streamus interruptus.
Streamus interruptus, yes.
But for giving the stream a shout out as he did it. So that was fantastic. We were so happy to see all the new people. And we hope you are sticking around with us week after week. I think there's probably something else I'm missing, but...
Yeah, well, after our Super Smarties, we also want to acknowledge another part of the community. We just found out that Divot Slice got Semi-Real Valiant on Sunday, their first Smart Doll.
Congratulations on your first Smart Doll. We wish you many more. Or, I should say...
We know there will be many more.
We wish you would know when to stop. That's right for you. So yeah, this is going to be sort of we've got a couple of big things to talk about. We're going to talk about new stuff that was announced in the headlines this week, but we're also going to talk about some scary stuff. Some dolls are leaving. We are getting to it. It'll be the last section of the headlines. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into it. All right. So yeah, our headlines, we've got a couple of new things to come out, and I do want to mention you're going to be dying in the chat saying, oh, this and this has happened since that announcement. We know.
We got to move through it.
So first up is Resilient G7 sculpt.
Yeah. So she came out. Very exciting. I like her in T. I don't know that I see her as being all that different. Like, for some reason, she doesn't strike me as all that different than Cinnamon. I think I would have to see them next to each other and make that Cinnamon tea comparison.
Right.
But just looking at her by herself...
I don't know. I think there's certain dolls. I think she looked great in tea myself. But we've got some pictures here, of course, and some notes from Danny. He goes through her whole story, which she's had for a while. This is not a new doll.
No, this is the Resilient story.
And it's about fight or flight, bouncing back. It's a good story. I definitely recommend you read it. Although you might need to search for the doll on the website, but we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to show the toolbar here. There we go. Next up, we have Perseverance. So we've seen her before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this, Sandy?
This is the M1 head.
This is the original M1, right?
Yeah.
The first M1 to actually be released. No, I shouldn't say that. The first M1 to get a name was my brain wants to say Resilient. Not
Relentless.
Relentless, yes. This is who we were just talking about last week, who we believe was codenamed Ray. She now has a name. Thank you, Danny. We no longer have to confuse her with our own doll and the other M1 sculpts. She is Perseverance. I find it... Danny is very clearly addicted to the Tomb Raider game right now.
Yeah, he's been playing it a lot, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all over this, talking about, that Lara Croft needs perseverance, and what it takes to basically get to your end goals, and what it means to have perseverance. Again, it's a good read. You can start to see. Do you remember the books that you'll see, the Kindle? Occasionally you'll see like a cover of a Kindle.
Yeah, he'll hold up what he's reading. Yeah.
His discussion here of, the brain, how much mass it takes up in the body, how much energy it uses, things like that. Like it's really interesting to start to see some of the books he's reading and the thought processes and how he's thinking about things coming out in his writing. And I can, I don't know that I couldn't tell you a book that there's a direct connection to, but it's just, I'm like, okay.
There was something about a brain not too long ago.
Yes, I believe there was. So we've seen her, we've commented her for a while, but she is pretty gorgeous.
I like her. She's a little bit different. She's sort of along the lines of like, Infinity, etc. But she's just got that little bit of a tweak.
She's got much bushier Mirai-like eyelashes. But that sort of somewhat similar, like the more severe eyebrow, like North has, or I should say, Relentless. Relentless, Perseverance, all very similar things. Yeah, she looks fantastic, and they look quite different from each other, both M1. So that's good to start to see the versatility of the sculpt and see what we're going to get out of it. We're getting two very different mouths, I believe, out of the two.
And both Anime Relentless and Perseverance do have a very Comey quality. Like, Perseverance less so, but there's like in general, like the thing about the eyes being very wide set, etc.
Right. I mean, we can see here she has. I mean, it's accentuated because of the seeing the edge of the inside edge where they don't paint.
Yes.
Of the sculpt, but it is a fairly wide, not particularly tall, but fairly wide eye socket.
She is going to. I hope he does her in gray, because she is going to look super cool in gray.
I could see that. I mean, we literally know, we have confirmation that he's going to be at least doing Relentless in gray.
Right.
So we shall see. Next up, we have more Tomb Raider content. And I think this is more, again, Danny's taking inspiration from the video game he's playing. He is not doing any sort of licensing deal, I don't believe, here. He is just giving, some really cool props. Now, we've seen the climbing axe. And here we get to see the bow. And it actually, this is a pretty interesting design, because he's essentially like 3D printed the core pieces, and then is using like a flexible piece of metal to give that bow at least some flex to it.
And he says that the K-pop heart hand does a really good job. That's what that is on. Is that Courage, or is that Liberty? I can never get confused which one's which.
Right, which markings are, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what she's using to pull the string back.
Yep. Very cool. I wonder if he's done some sort of elastic here, or if this really only looks good when it's pulled back. Again, we can see another shot there, a little bit lighter. In all of these, it does... it looks like it's a little bit of an elastic, yeah, because here it's going around. He's got it tied on either end of these.
I want to see the quiver. Is there a shot that has the quiver better?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Not there. Not there. Okay, there's more of the... Really, I think the point of this one is the the
The
axe,
climbing axe, which is very cool.
which we're now seeing in metal.
Yep.
Which is nice. And then more shots of the evolution of the climbing axe. Each of the pieces, the rough size of them, and his shot. Now he's been playing on the Steam box, I believe, which he can take with him or play at home, which is cool. So we don't see anything about the quiver, but I'm sure we'll see more at some point. The utility belt, for those wondering, we've seen it for quite some time. It will be coming out eventually, as well as the combat cape for the Solar Marine uniforms.
I love the look of the axes. He's talking about whether they're going to be in metal or just or 3D printed. But he did have to make adjustments to them because of the concern over the fact that lots of kids like Smart Doll now.
Right, in terms of like the sharpness of the teeth and things like that, the pointiness of it. Although it still looks kind of, you might be able to still poke an eye out or something. Kit Kat Crafts and K-pop says the finger hearts are in hand pack 4 if you're looking for them, if you don't already have that one. And Kelly Poplar says we need quivers and arm guards. So Danny, take note. Arm guards. Love to see more of this. I think these are great. It's nice. We'll see how much he actually ends up releasing of them, but
maybe Danny do the upgraded Aloy bow.
Oh yeah, It's once you start to get into more mechanisms, it's interesting. Something that has, you could easily get something like this and start tying like feathers and things and random stuff onto it.
Right,
but you're talking about more of like a full compound bow,
like really chunky. Yeah,
but I mean, we're talking. Yeah, he could probably fake it out without making it, because this is not a.
Yeah, it could be something that even snaps on to this bow or something.
Yeah. So we've got a bow, we've got arrows, some sort of quiver. Again, it doesn't look like we have anything in the way of arm guards, but I would also say this. Arm guards, I think you could easily draft yourself with some leather or pleather or whatever and cut out and maybe make some straps pretty quickly to go as bracers. Bracers are easy to make. Mm-hmm. They're like, if anything, they just have like maybe a point over the palm, but you could pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, and if you don't want to have to try and form it, you buy some sort of a material that is already in a tube and cut one side.
I'm just thinking, just here's some fabric, here's some leather. Like, you don't need anything overly complicated,
Right.
Especially not to make it cool and have it sort of be layered with some other costume pieces as well. Yeah, very cool. Love to see all of these new items, Danny. Next up, okay, so this is a progression this week. Mm-hmm. At some point, this is after I think either Relentless and T was announced or either came out. Actually, about both of them, right? Because Perseverance is mentioned here. So this is after the two of them. One was announced, one was dropped. He posted on Twitter that the number of available dolls, and this is not, I don't think this is technically what you're going to see if you go and hit all. Mm-hmm. Right, because that's only literally what you can order right now. But this is like the number of dolls that he could just sell right now, and like what's filling his stock, what he's working on refilling, shot up to 45, and that they need to start lowering them. And at the time when you visited, because he linked the discontinued, it's already changed. But at the time, this is what that looked like. It had Cinnamon Monday, mm-hmm. which shocked me.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Strength.
Prowess Blue, not so much of a surprise.
Right.
He doesn't.
We knew the blue's ending.
Yep, and they don't make them in the quantity that they make the other girls in.
Yeah. So, and I believe she actually eventually her final drop has happened. So if she whatever her status is today, that's it.
Yep.
We have anomaly human. So we know zombie anomaly is coming back in
gray.
I think there's still some left in blue coming, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
There's maybe another round, but blue's going away. She's going to come back in gray. Anomaly human gone, and really surprising. Right as
Team
soon
Resilient.
right as soon as she was released,
She was released and gone.
So now there's some weird stuff to talk about. This is not. We cannot say for sure that these dolls are never coming back. We cannot say there's some weird stuff kind of to digest, and maybe we might get a clearer answer out of Danny of what this means. But later that week, so here's what discontinued looks like now. So now we have Starlight sold out. Starlight dropped, I believe. She came back
and then sold out.
And sold out and now is discontinued. Here's Monday, and Monday in Cinnamon says current production capacity reached. This is strange to me. So normally current production capacity reached is a label that goes on dolls. Basically, he's like, in order to make sure that let's say they can produce 200 dolls, not the real number, 200 dolls in a month. He has a method to limit the quantity of each doll in a given time period so that he can make sure other dolls get made.
Right.
And that's what that means.
So he's not putting too much weight on his employees, basically.
So this could mean that he's probably got another batch to come in and might do it before she actually is fully gone. Mm-hmm. But it's just a little bit confusing. Strength sold out, current production capacity reached. So I'm not sure what the combination of being discontinued.
We've seen both, but seeing them together is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's any hope here, it's that there might be a small drop of these of Monday and Strength before they get discontinued. It looks like Starlight is probably gone. That's usually what that means, but he hasn't taken her out of discontinued soon yet. So yeah, it's
Monday going discontinued is interesting to me.
Yeah, so tell me about it.
Well, I mean, people, I've seen some stuff going on in the chat. Like, Starlight has been in and out and in and out, and she was out for a long time, and then she came back. Monday has been pretty consistent.
And somewhat of a favorite. Not the top doll for Danny, but a relatively cherished doll, I would say, from the way he talks about her, and he's not 40. Who's goes everywhere, but there's a Monday usually with, in
his crew. Yeah. And I mean, she hasn't been as much lately, like you said. I mean, there's been I think it's just new dolls, he's just making way for newness. But Monday, I thought of Monday as a frontline girl.
Now, Amanda says, knowledge says both too, cry face. I want to be clear here. I do not believe if you see sold out and the capacity reached, that does not mean that they are being discontinued.
No, they have to be in the discontinued section for them to mean they're being discontinued.
Yeah, or they would just be gone, I suppose. But all we can see is people who have been in there. It just seemed like, you can see from my picture, those labels weren't there. But of course, they still had some to sell. So we don't know exactly what we know, though, that they're going to, according to him, stop producing these. My other big question is, for how long? Let's look at the last Twitter announcement here. We've got another release, which we should talk about real quick. Moment, Freedom, Summer, and Curiosity are all back out with some new wigs.
Mm-hmm. Super cute.
So good. I have said it many times, but the random short wig is so good.
Moment can wear any freaking wig. Like, just any wig. And I don't know what it is about her. She looks amazing here. The random short I think is very cute. I personally prefer her with longer hair, but she looks great.
And then we have Freedom.
Freedom with that short red. Oh my God, so cute.
Oh, I want this wig so bad. And she, like, the sort of squinty-eyed, like, and anime blush that she's got going on is really, really nice. Summer, Summer's cute, but has never been a particular, of interest of mine. And Curiosity in T. Mm-hmm. So we've got these dolls. He's put them back out there, and he has an announcement that all total, they have 48 dolls available.
And they can only have 40, so they have to get the number back down to 40. So 8 dolls. 8
more dolls. And I don't know if this, I'm guessing, hoping that this doesn't include, that this includes
the ones that he already is discontinuing. Right.
That he's already marked, but it may not be. It could mean that 8 more are going. Now, individual dolls means, there's a good chance your favorite doll in a different skin tone might still be available.
Right. Like Strength is available in she's still available in Cocoa, I think. In one of the colors she's still available, but she's being discontinued in Cinnamon. I was trying to figure out who it might be, like who might be knocked off the list, because he said when he announced having to discontinue some, he said we're getting to work on T Relentless to put her back out, and Perseverance. So those two are coming out in addition to what's already there.
Your ADD is already going in just because I moved the mouse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. You see me looking down a lot. My ADHD is just like crazy.
I must see what's happening on the screen. Well, what's happening on the screen, as Divid Slice said, do you think the blues will be considered in that 8? Again, that would be lovely. But that means it's already accounted. If the 3 that are... Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I don't know. There's really no way to know here. Prowess is in the soon-to-be discontinued, but I don't know if he's counting that, He's got 3 more, right? Blue Moments.
I guess we'd have to look at who's not in the how many dolls are in the not discontinued.
Right. Well, again, I think his number is larger than we can see on the website. So,
right.
Who knows? I don't think we can actually do the math. Let's take a quick look.
I think it counts them. Like, I think there's actually a count next to...
Yeah, but here's all 20.
All available 20.
And then Back Soonish 23. So Back Soonish is, Back Soonish plus all. Storytellers can't count for anything because those are probably things that aren't even available.
Right.
So I'm going to say, so we have 43 here. And his number was 48. That's 5 that we're not seeing. But what I do believe he is counting in the 48
is Anomaly and Moment. In blue.
Well, yes, possibly. But what I'm saying though is in the 48 number, I can almost guarantee you he's counting the dolls we haven't seen yet, like Perseverance. Whatever drop, like he has planned drops imminent. Anime, Like, I'm guessing Perseverance and Anime
Relentless. I want her so badly.
Which would put us at, like, that gets us at $6 if you think there's one for each of those things. So I don't know. Keep your eye on the Twitter account, or keep your eye on the Discord server, because the Discord server, we have the Twitter account going right in there for you. It is, to me, one of the best ways to really control your notifications and only get the stuff that matters. Like, I don't have to deal with the rest of Twitter. I have an old Twitter account, but I don't hardly use it.
I don't use my Twitter account much.
So it's nice to be able to just focus and see the Smart Doll stuff in one place and not to deal with all of the other Twitter ads and like stuff like that. So, if you haven't already, join the community on Discord. You can get your Discord server invites by going to myladydisdain.com/Discord.
Our Discord will notify you of anything that Danny puts up on Instagram and Twitter, and also will let you know when we put out new videos.
Yeah, so there's a lot, kind of unknown right now, and I would say, that the best thing that we can do is just keep our eye out for those, like, the little tweets. Read the little tweets that happen, not just the releases. And make sure that when a tweet happens, don't just look at the pictures. Click the link. Read the full post, whether it be on Twitter or Instagram, wherever it links to, and check that out. And the other thing I think you should absolutely be sure to do is like this video, because it is the best way to help spread the news to other people, and let them know they should be watching, and that this is hopefully what we strive for every single week, the best place for Smart Doll news, to not only find out what's going on, but to really have some good conversations about it and make some new friends. All right. We are going to, that was like the smoothest, way in, and now I can't get out of it.
Now you can't get out, right?
And we're awkward again. Faces. Let me clear the chat there. So now we're on from the headlines to the stuff that is the more behind the scenes pictures. We've pulled a couple of things in here. This is a sad picture to me. What do we think this is a picture of? Generically, at least.
Prototype garage.
Right. This is generally the product shots of what's going to the prototype garage. And what's in this picture, Sandy?
Well, two things. We've got Curiosity with her cute little pointy tooth.
Yeah, you can't quite see the tooth, but this is definitely Curiosity.
And then right next to her, we have Sad Chi.
Oh, yeah. We've seen her for a while, too. We also check out Genesis not Kigurumi. Kintsugi.
Kintsugi's, yeah.
Although Genesis Kigurumi is something we have to try. Look at that.
That looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is amazing. This girl is who we thought and probably is Singularity. Yeah. And it's a really interesting look, this sort of bluish makeup with the red hair. I keep looking at it and not recognizing it.
And I mean, it's also like brighter than it should be, but like it's warmer.
Siak Ranch asks, any jazz? As far as in this, we don't see anything. We haven't seen any pictures of Jazz yet. Just like we've seen Jazz the least, I would say. Jazz, out of the in development girls, is probably the most at risk of
not coming out.
coming out. But I mean, we've had somebody we've seen on Danny's table for like months and months and months, and then goes into a prototype garage. So you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It is, so Kelly asks, why, Danny, are these girls not getting released to us?
I don't know. I'm not Danny, so I don't have a legitimate answer.
Oh,
but...
I think there's an easy, legitimate answer, and he has said it 2 or 3 times this week. They don't have the time.
He has to make hard decisions as to what can go into production and what can't. Things that he has really liked, he has to eliminate. So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I just imagine how he feels. Like, these are all his creative creations that he gets attached to. Now, he to some extent has to have some detachment because he actually has to send them off to basically be destroyed in order to make the paint masks and things like that. But I do, as much as we feel bad sort of being teased by these wonderful dolls and never getting to own them, I can only imagine
what he goes through.
Yeah.
Or what they as a team go through. Yeah, I mean, these are obviously, he has talked about doing alternate expressions, and obviously most of these are alternate heads for other dolls, I think.
This looks like Kintsugi without the Kintsugi.
It does kind of look like, yeah, she might be a little bit, her makeup might be a little darker.
It's hard to tell, yeah.
Kintsugi is a little more red,
yeah,
than brown.
But it's hard to tell with those like a lot similar sort of like thick bar with like some spiky lashes coming out. But yeah, it's so what this means though is expect a garage prototype drop at some point. And for those who haven't seen a prototype, they are one of a kind. They are more expensive. They are done in sort of a reverse auction kind of way. They're put up at a higher price, and he will over time lower that price until they sell.
Right. So it's basically, and people have started jumping at them at the high price, so they never really go down.
Yeah. And it's you do definitely want to think about like what it really means to you to have it, and it may be something more for serious collectors. We have the kabukis, and the anime kabuki to me was so worth it, so priceless. But we also, just because for some reason I had to have it, bought the blue kabuki with the original coloring.
Right. So not the purple and white makeup, but the actual blue and red makeup that's on the other kabukis.
And I probably wouldn't have bought her if I wasn't building all these stories around kabuki, and it was another variation. You got 2 heads. Like, there was a couple of reasons why we got her, but
we have her, and then we have the G4 Melody prototype that was garage, but we got her from Thomas. We didn't get her on the garage.
That was out the year before.
Yeah,
actually, I think the November before we started collecting.
Yep, and then we bought Kintsugi, who has not had her unboxing yet.
But she has a name, I think. I think she has a name. But it'll happen. Somebody needs to make her clothes. Everyone makes Sandy feel guilty.
Sandy's making a dress form right now.
Yes, you are doing very cool things. It just has nothing to do with doll clothes. Well, not anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So apparel.
Speaking of clothes,
we've got some digital camo coming up, which is cool.
Fitting, but not my favorite.
I know you do not like camo. What do you guys think of the camo? Do you prefer regular camo or do you prefer digital camo? Let us know. We've also got, I mean, there's not much happening here. We've seen these sort of schematics before. This is the Solar Marine uniform plus the combat cape. And I just wanted to call attention to it because, to remind you that we are still waiting for it. But what we're not waiting for, There's a super chat from Summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Summer.
That was very sweet of you. So we have, there's really not much to say here. Again, just the cape is on its way. Can't wait to have it, Danny. Faster. Faster, Danny. Faster. I feel like, see, the thing, I would love to make t-shirts that are like, we talked like, just take my money, Danny, and like all these things. They would not make any sense to anybody. They'd be like only doll convention like wear.
Right.
And for us, it would be, we could make some for us and then put it up on the store if anybody really wants one. So we could wear
them on the stream, and then people would know what it was. But that's about it.
Yeah, just walking around town with a
faster
Danny, faster. It really does not like. Well, at least I know. So this is cool. This is part 1 of a 2-part little series here. Have you, Sandy and I haven't actually synced up on all of these this week. Have you?
I did see this.
Yep.
It looks like police uniform or something.
Yeah, kinda. I think it's more military or whatever. But this is him sort of utilizing the structure of the Solar Marine uniform to kind of start to stub out
some
other features.
Some other things. Yeah.
And here is the progress on this.
Oh, see, I thought that was the top of the flight suit.
Maybe it is, but every item added here,
mm-hmm.
the epaulets, the pocket, the open V,
mm-hmm.
Is accounted for in this picture.
Yep. That is really nice, too. That is a very detailed piece. I can see that being a rather expensive piece.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I dig it. I can't wait to... well, this is just a shirt, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had to move our computer down to see the bottom edge. That is, I think it's just like a military style
shirt. Yeah. And I don't see okay, there are holes for the buttons. Although I kind of think it would look cool as a wrap.
Interesting. I'm not sure why, but...
Fashion.
Yeah.
Ooh, fashion.
All right. Let's talk accessories. Speaking of fashion, you got to accessorize. I will warn you, this category being the last category gets a little weird at the end in terms of what actually fits here as accessories.
Right. So bear with us.
All right. Just a quick pick here. We have seen this before, but these sort of mech boots are coming along. These look like the Masters. Well, no, not necessarily. It's hard to say. These might actually be poured, and this is just the flashing up here. At first I thought, man, those cankles on that doll.
No.
But that's the flashing from the tube. I'm guessing at the size of it, this probably actually has to be a one of the first vinyl sort of reproductions. Prints.
Yeah.
Prints is not the right word. So that's coming along. We've seen this bag. We actually have we have one from.
I think we have 2
from Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been working on this a while, still tweaking away. He's making some changes to it. And this just goes to show you the meticulousness with which Danny operates of slowly, like he really could have put out what he put in Chaos that we saw. But he is still getting things just right before he will put that out there. Probably getting the length right.
I don't know. I'm looking down at these fabrics down here, and I'm like, is it going to be two-toned? Like, is it going to go with the post-apocalyptic sweater set, the way it's got that one piece?
Oh, I don't know.
Because there's 2 colors.
Yeah. No, that's tape. It's tape.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you're
Scotch
right.
tape.
Nope, sorry, you're right. It's Scotch tape holding those things down.
Well,
it would still look cool because it's got that one strip in the corner that could be different.
Yes, next t-shirt. It's just tape.
Hey, one time I commented on tape and I was right.
Yay.
So,
Well, you would have been right here if you said it was tape. All right, this is where it starts to get a little off track from accessories, but I got nowhere else to put these things. It looks like Danny has picked up a DJI Mini 3 Pro, a drone. I'm assuming it's probably like a 4K camera. At least I doubt they're going higher than that. The interesting thing about these are the older ones. You basically have you connect to your smartphone, which has like a cradle on the controller. This actually has a full screen built in. I'm really interested to see what he does with this. Like
drone shots of the studio would be cool.
That's
Drone
true.
shots of Tokyo, drone shots when they go on their vacations. I would look at all of it.
Yeah, I guess. I was thinking though, is like, is he going to do anything with the dolls? I've been thinking about, Sandy actually got me one of these a couple Christmases ago. I've done very little with it because as soon as I got one of these, which of course you have to get a license for, and go through like tests and stuff, the pandemic hit.
Yeah, Pennsylvania has some strict rules about where you can fly your drones and stuff.
Oh, I mean, everywhere does. I mean, we're talking like, yeah, the government massively restricts.
Yeah, that's true.
What you can do and that you can, that you have to know how to fly it safely and where not to fly it. You have privacy issues. You have all sorts of stuff. But I've been in my head sort of thinking about like even something possibly with like Supergirl or whatever, but
Mounting her on the drone? That
Actually,
would be awesome.
No, all right. We talked about that as soon as like short because we got it was the same. Was it? No, it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same Christmas.
No. So we got the dolls after. When we got the dolls, I started thinking about should I try and see if the drone can lift it? And technically, the carrying capacity, they are more than the carrying capacity of the drone. Of these, I'm sure there is a drone that I could get if that was the actual goal. But I was just thinking about certain shots, like a shot. It would probably have to be outdoor, but sort of a shot that is like just moving, like really nice dolly shots, basically, of like either moving up to them or moving away from them or backing up, and then I sort of do that stuff now controlled with a slide, an automated slider in the studio, but you can do it outdoors basically. I don't know. There's stuff to play with. I was just thinking about like the wind of the thing blowing their hair too. Like I really want to try and redo when we did Supergirl. I did I think a pretty good job of still pictures that were her flying. Like and it was literally just her looking upwards and me shooting straight down with a blue background and then superimposing sky and everything. What I want to actually try doing is getting video shot with like a fan blowing her hair and stuff.
Also, like just being able to incorporate shots of what she might be seeing.
Well, that's true, right? Yep. Yeah, so we could do it. You could that would definitely be a way to do the drone. Anyway, random side conversation. Moving on. Okay, what is going on here? They're putting Velcro on some things, and I'm like, this is big. Is this a Mariah Carey, or are they just randomly showing pictures and putting Velcros on one of their own coats? Is it like a coat that they're adding Velcro to that they can then strap a doll to?
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's got like in the bottom lower corner there is what obviously looks like a standard like denim jacket seam or whatever, but there's a cord coming off of it.
And well, there's a whole clip here.
Oh, there's the clip. Yeah, okay. So maybe they are working on a new carry bag.
I don't know. Or some sort of like carry hip, fanny pack. a doll holster. Kelly Butler says, "Don't give Danny ideas." I refuse. So yeah,
I don't think Danny needs any of our ideas.
You really, nor does he invite it, nor does he care. In anything, I think you could give Danny as an idea. I shouldn't say that. He takes a lot of ideas from the community.
He does, actually. So that's true.
It's not, but yes, he does. I think it takes. It's got to rise. It's got to bubble up to a certain point for Danny, probably to just compete with all the stuff's happening in his own head. Okay. Here we have a crystal frame, a clear frame. Sorry, not frame.
Clear shell
Shells.
so that we can see what the new frame looks like?
No, I mean, they're just clear shells. These are clear shells sitting on, like, what they use to paint stuff. So it looks like they're about to spray paint these clear shells. Oh, they're probably spray painting it. No, they did. This is exactly what happened. He put clear finish on it, glossy finish.
Right, so that they use these to test out the new frame.
Yeah. And they would want the glossy finish on it so they could see inside it better. Right. Yeah.
Right. I was on the right track, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that these are like heavily painted parts.
Yeah, we're still playing around. I think one of the last things that Katie has on our list for face ups is what we're calling the matriarch for our stories, and will be based on the clear doll, and probably is going to be the most weird, difficult face up she's ever done. I think we got some cool ideas.
I don't know much about it. Like, we've talked about some things, but I
don't know. I mean, all we've done is had some ideas, like playing with, blushing parts of it blue so it looks like she actually has sort of skin in parts, or using, like, possibly doing a like porcelain mask style thing where we glossy finish only a portion of it, and that is like a white, like she's wearing a mask. Like, so there's a lot of interesting ideas of what we think we might want to try with it, but we haven't really sat down and finalized any ideas.
Okay.
And I think that is it. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of the news and the beginning of the party. So this is the Smarty Party. We will play through the Smarty Party. It was brought to you this week by Lee. Thank you so much to Lee for putting these together. I do want to mention to all of you who are adding or submitting your photos, we are definitely getting to the point where we're having to start manage the number of photos in there. So do us a favor, submit your favorite photo each week, and we will, because we're gonna have to pick one from each person at a maximum, and that's what we had to do this week as well. So if you don't see one of your photos or most of your photos up, we had to make a choice. And after this, we'll have our Q&A session. So get your questions ready. And when you put them in the chat, make sure you add the word question to that so that we can pick it out from the crowd. And otherwise, you're just talking to everybody else as far as we know. And with that, here you go.
We came to party all night long. Let's sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone.
All right, and as the last slide there said, all you got to do is get on our Discord server and submit a picture in the Smarty Party channel, and we'll make sure it gets up there. To the comment about where is the moment of Squee, we have moved away from that being a specific segment every single week in favor of showing the community's pictures, and have turned it into more of an emote that we get to do whenever we think something's really cute during, at any point during the news. So we'll keep that up. And I do want to mention here before we dive into the questions, if you want a moment of Squee, well, she's not really a Squee. This is Vignette. Vignette is my number 2 doll. Don't
She's
tell
more
her.
of a dang.
Dang. If you happened to catch our video this weekend, you would have seen Vignette schooling a young doll on how to dress properly. So check out that video if you haven't already. And
Both of dolls of which oddly sound like me.
yeah. It's weird. I mean, it would be, it's one thing if one of them sounded like you. I mean, that could just be a coincidence.
Right. But
All right. Lisa asks, can you make a t-shirt that says Danny wears Kanata? I think if we make a t-shirt, a Kanata t-shirt.
hashtag where's Kanata?
It would be hashtag where's Kanata, yeah. And probably like I don't know, some sort of weird treatment of her. It's in my head. Things have been a little nuts. And I still, like I said, I'm looking, actually I was hoping and didn't make it for this weekend to release, look for a release in this next week, possibly at, and if it's definitely up, we'll mention it next news, for our beach towels that we're putting out. All right. Make sure we're going the right way. Siak Ranch says, pocket smart dolls. Has anyone seen any with bending legs?
In terms of like in the pictures at all, I don't think so. I think we've only seen the mannequin at this point.
I think he showed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe we have. I think it's possible that there's one buried back there, but most likely they're all just frames, pictures, and things that I kind of tucked in amongst other things. Angel's Kitty says, I'm wearing her on my shirt today, John. Kanata. I definitely have to. I have to make that. I gotta find.
Vignette.
Oh, Vignette.
She is the featured doll on our I find your lack of dolls disturbing tee.
Right. I forgot. I also have one. I tried. I don't think it's that great, but I tried making one of my favorite shots that I did of her was of her on a runway, and it's like shot from the perspective of somebody sitting down and her on an elevated runway and like the lights up and everything. In her like Mariko Halu.
And you did it as an all over print, right?
I tried it as an all over print, so you see like the lights and stuff like that. It's interesting, but I don't know. I worry about just putting a ton of stuff out there that no one's gonna really ever buy and make it hard to find stuff that they will. Let's see. All right, we're gonna probably end up making up for last week. Last week,
we thought we had no news, and we ended up going really, really late because between like lots and lots of questions and Danny dropping things and stuff,
yeah.
we went really late to this week. I don't know. Everybody's kind of quiet.
I will. Let's see if I can. This is a perfect question. Pearl Rose asks, "Where's Batgirl?" Only because it needs to be asked every week. I think I know when Batgirl is going to drop. Now, bear with me. This is not anything official. In fact, it's not verified. In fact, it's pure, utter speculation. In about 2 weeks, we won't have a Smart Doll News.
Most
likely. Unless I can bring Sandy up to speed on all of the tech. But it's a matter of how much time we have to spend. But most likely we'll skip, not next week, but the week after, because I will be traveling for work. So while I'm in Barcelona, I'm guessing that she'll like drop like that week, and just because that's the way life goes. With the amount of work that I'm gonna have to do around getting a video out for her and doing like the set that I want to and everything, it just, I don't know. It's the way things go. Danny, if you're listening, would you mind just working around my schedule?
Yeah. Or help me get Batgirl.
I'm not concerned.
He's going to Barcelona, and I don't really care.
I want to be clear here. I'm not concerned with getting her. I think we're going to be able to get her. I mean, there's the possibility we won't, but I know you'll take care of it, whatever. For me, it's she's going to drop. So she's going to drop, and then she's probably going to arrive when I arrive home, whereas I would love to be putting out a video
immediately,
as soon as possible. It's going to take us that much more time to get up and running with her. So that's, I just found that funny. Angel Kitty, as always, thank you so much. We're so glad to be a part of your Mondays, and
you guys are the highlight of our Monday too.
Yeah, heck, you guys are the highlight of our week. I mean, you are our weeks. It's like it's work and then it's here. Do we think Danny will somehow sneak Gray out early?
He actually said there would be a few in the wild that came out early. We talked about a few different ways that it could happen in the last Smart Doll News.
Yep. So I would go check through that. The basic gist is he could give them away. He could just say, "Oh, there's a drop and there's a very small batch available to purchase." There's any number of ways that Anomaly, Zombie, and Gray may come out, but she apparently will be sneaking out ahead of time. Holly Donut. Holly Dollnut.
Holly Donut.
What do you want from me?
I'm sure it's not the first time that's happened, but
I looked quickly. Question. I don't know why I say question. It's redundant. When do you think he will drop all the girls again that are on the soonish list? Whenever he wants. There's no rhyme or reason right now. I'm sure there's rhyme or reason, but we don't get to see into that world of like what they're making, how much they're making of what it takes for like what makes him decide to focus on one doll versus the other. We know right now his focus production-wise is making more, oddly enough, Relentless. Mm-hmm. So I think he's pushing out some Resilient in T. He's pushing out some Resilient in T until he's decided she's completely done, and then she's discontinued.
And I think, things happen too. Like not too long ago, there was a whole lot of Cocoa Drops because there was a problem with the tea and cinnamon batches. So things can just change on Danny too.
Like No Other Designs says, question, doesn't DC also have to agree on when the drop goes down? Maybe, but you don't see any sort of coordinated marketing happening whatsoever around these drops. So I think there's a good chance the answer is no, other than he has to tell them when, and they probably have to have he has to get final approvals and whatever. Like
it will drop between this time and this time. That kind of thing, most likely. He pays per doll that he makes, so he's got a run that he makes. I mean, it's... again, I've never done a licensing deal.
but I can't think of why they would have to have that level of involvement.
No, I didn't see any other than, I mean, I didn't really see any marketing for Supergirl at all.
I mean, I could see them having a veto power.
Right.
And him to go, like, I can't imagine them picking the time, but I can imagine them going, no, you cannot drop it now because it's in amongst all this other stuff we're doing, and it has some conflict. Don't know what that would be, but yeah, I could see maybe they have a veto power. I doubt they're going to tell him when it launches.
Magnetic Obsession said, I just want the Batgirl outfit. When Supergirl came out, there were people who just wanted the outfit, and there were people who just wanted the doll. So you might put it out there that that's what you want, and see if anybody just really likes the look of Batgirl and wants the doll.
Yeah, I think you're going to be heavier on the people who want the outfit.
The outfit, especially in the case of this one. Yeah.
Jenna says, any idea when Blue Moment will be in stock? I'm desperate.
She says back somewhat soonish.
I mean, so we're doing Prowess right now, and she's gonna be out basically.
Anomaly just had a drop. I think she's next. Would be my guess. For Blues anyway. Besides, well, there's also the final boss has to come out.
Relentless, yeah. I don't know what people. If I were to rank them, I would probably save Relentless as the final boss, as the final drop.
She's gonna be last, yeah.
I think so. But it doesn't really mean much of anything. Any plans to get Naruto when he comes out? That depends. I think it depends on our financial situation at the time.
Yeah. And how many dolls we have? Like, we're already looking at paring the court down a little bit.
He's very unique. He's pretty cool looking. I mean, I like all the stuff.
It's just going to depend on how he looks when we finally get to see all of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I currently no plans, but we'll see. We have more plans with the DC lineup than we do, just because there's, they're all related to each other. Danny pulled the Cinnamon Relentless. What skin tea?
What skin tea or Trifoot? In other words, like, you were asking us what our opinion is.
I'm blue. If I had the choice between, okay, my opinion's colored because I've got the whole blue thing going on with the stories. I would say blue over tea myself. But that really depends on where you're at. I mean, do you really like? To me, she is just as striking as Coco in blue. Tea is a really sort of an interesting medium ground.
And then it's I mean, Coco is very cool. I don't know, probably try for blue would be my opinion.
Meowsart says, I emailed Fabric Friends and Dolls about Curiosity, and she told me that they can't order any more tea and cinnamon dolls. Do you know why that would be?
For good? I would assume it had to do with the fact that there was a bad batch of tea and cinnamon, and they're trying to catch up.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I would check back in. I mean, if you look right now at what's available, it's like 3 cinnamon dolls and like 20, Cocos.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had a problem. They're slowly getting over it. I would check back in. I would watch what Danny's releasing.
Right.
And once he starts to release more Cinnamon Girls again, but he's being really careful. So,
I mean, and to be honest, I mean, it's actually like ordering from Danny is cheaper right now, even with shipping. And especially, because of the conversion with the yen for most people, it's actually cheaper to order from Danny.
Yeah.
And, so it's like, watch what he's putting out.
To me, the only advantage right now for the stores outside of Danny are other financial options like layaway and such. But it is going to cost you a chunk more money.
Right. I mean, you can do PayPal Pay in 4 through Smart Doll.
And there is the element that certain things you can get that you wouldn't be able to get normally because she can request them and he'll make them for her. Like,
Right.
So getting on a list, sometimes if there's somebody that you just, like, you want to make sure that you're going to get, talk to her and see if you can get on a list, and they'll see about ordering it. And they'll, like, so they have the ability to say, I need these dolls. I have
Right.
people looking for these dolls. Non-branded boys, like No Water Designs, asks, when?
He was redesigning the boy. We did get in one of our utter chaoses, we got a T Gemini head with eyes.
Yep, he's definitely playing around with stuff, but there's no clues happening right now. We're not seeing much of anything. I mean, you'd see it on the news. We would be talking about it more frequently. If you keep up with the Smart Doll news each week, something like that we're gonna bring up. We don't do every photograph that he released, but it releases a lot of the same photograph every week. Mm-hmm. Here's some wigs.
Right.
Here's the stuff we're doing. But we try and look at what's new week to week, what's worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. And join our Discord because all of that stuff hits there.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. We're in the same situation as you. No clue. I'm just thinking about the big projects he's got going. There's a bunch. My guess is, and other than it'll be ready when it's ready, I think there's a good chance we won't see boys this year. That's my sort of pessimistic guess.
Maybe Naruto, but not.
Yeah, I mean,
boys.
the new boy body. Mm-hmm. Naruto. I guarantee you will use the old boy body. Mm-hmm. I think. I doubt he is going to release.
He's already made the clothes.
Yeah.
The clothes are already designed and being built.
Yeah,
so...
they're built on the thin frame or the thin muscle frame. This didn't get through because it's plural, but I caught it. That one lazy friend in class. What dolls will be pulled out? I'm kind of saving up for one. Check the... we don't know other than what he's said thus far. So right now we've got the list we talked about at the top. Check out the discontinued soon section for what's getting pulled. It's gonna be the less popular stuff. So it depends. Which one are you saving up for? Let us know, and if we can at least give you an idea of whether we think that is very popular or at risk. I mean, obviously, nothing we say is for sure. Mm-hmm. You said you're planning on downsizing. Who are you thinking of rehoming?
We go back and forth on it. So, this is not written in stone. This is just things that we've been talking about. We have an OG Milk Melody that we were thinking about rehoming.
Yeah, it's the one doll out of all the dolls we got from Thomas that just doesn't. I don't know. I think I'm not Mirai, we have an OG Mirai I want to keep around, and part of me would like to keep OG Morality around and get all the OG,
all the OG girls, yeah.
But it's a lot, and especially to some extent, I'd rather be rehoming dolls and getting to unbox more new dolls with you guys and
enjoy them for a little bit
and yeah, I mean it really depends. Supergirl's probably the other big one that we've considered.
Mm-hmm. We've also actually discussed and please don't ask us because this is a very hard decision and let's just leave it here, but we may actually rehome Q, our Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's if we decide if we were we need money right now, if we decided that we absolutely needed to liquidate some dolls, he would be an easy decision to make. We just don't have enough investment in if we had another boy, we'd probably have more clothes, mm-hmm. and knowing that everything's going to change, it's nice to have. and we probably will keep him around. But especially as we do more videos and stuff, it's nice to have a token male for the videos. But
as we tell more stories, it is nice to have a guy. But so it's
we do have a I have a male blue body.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Yep.
And we have a T head. We could put them together.
I think I have a. I was thinking. I think I have a head, I think I have either a G4 head or something like that. That I was going to do probably a male face up on it or something like that.
Oh right.
Who knows? Has been any news on the Death Note boys? No, we haven't seen anything about Light.
Not
Yagami.
in a while. Not since the last news that we talked about him on. There hasn't really been anything.
Yep, all quiet for months. All right, just making sure. Keep crowds and K-pop. How did we save for so many dolls and face-ups? I mean, I'm not sure other than income and saving money.
I mean, we didn't.
Let's put it this way. I have a decent job. We do not have children.
Right.
It's easy to focus money in places that would seem frivolous to more people.
And actually frivolous to us sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Cutie Collector, where would you sell them if you do make a decision? I'd trust buying secondhand off of both of you. I mean, we do have the advantage I think we do have as a seller is some credibility because we are visible.
Right. We're not going to mess with someone because we wouldn't want our reputation with the community messed with.
No. We will likely figure out a price. I doubt I will. We generally do a good job of researching, what things are going for right now in the secondhand market and figuring out a price. And it'll probably be, here's what we're looking for. If you're interested, let us know. We'll probably, I think we said it in the past, we'll do something like, if we're going to sell something, we will give first dibs to the Discord server. We've never done it yet, so
yeah, there's no precedent for this. We're just talking.
But I would rather sell to somebody on Discord, using all the normal protections, of course, and then secondly put it up on the Facebook groups for sales. We get this question, Kay, how many dolls do you have? I don't know.
We're over 20 at this point.
Yeah. Too many. You don't see a lot of them because there's some are in the studio taking pictures at any given time.
I've got 5 in my sewing room at the moment.
And there are some that have heads that are off being painted. And so we'll eventually, hopefully, we'll be done with all of the face-ups, have a break in that, and be able to do a full, we probably should do a full, everyone but the blue girls. But, all right. Holly Donut says, who do you both want to get next? You've been close, and we've said no.
Yeah, I think I want Anime Relentless.
Yeah.
I want her actually without the gold paint.
But that's not Relentless.
I want that head without the gold paint. But I would take her with.
Well, you could always remove it.
I could. It would be scary.
I don't think it'd be that scary, but I'd have to look at the face up again. We'd have to see how close it got. But yeah, I don't know. It feels risky, but it's not that risky. Thank you for clarifying this. Lisa Core says, okay, how are you liking your mini Dolphy Dream?
I love May May. I actually just brought her upstairs to the sewing room. She likes to hang out in the sewing room with me. I love her. I wish her body was as stable as the Smart Doll body.
Yeah, we need some stands. Niara, who's our Dolphin Dream Pretty, she is, she's a little, I don't know how much, like, she's an artist piece to me. Like, we need to, she's up there.
She's a sculpture.
Yeah. She's
behind my head. You can't, her skirt is hanging down behind my head.
All of that stuff back there is her dress. All right. Is there anything you're looking for from the older Smart Doll items? Maybe something here might help you get in the future. The
other Kigurumi.
Yeah. I mean, I just love the old clothes.
Yeah, there's some videos out there where Danny is like working with a department store.
Yeah.
And the dolls are in some amazing... So before he went post-apocalyptic, there was some amazing wardrobe selection. And I would love to have some of that.
The Millennium boots, but we have the Masters. I just have to get around to figuring out how to do something with them. I was gonna try and see if I could, maybe our local, we have a maker space in our local town.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any
our town is rather, they put a lot of money into the town. The town is very nice. And they, 2 years ago for the annual gift, it was a maker space for the library, and they've got a 3D printer, and they've got all kinds sewing machines and all kinds of things.
I was like, I wonder, I don't know, I need the idea of taking a master and then making a mold for the thing that I don't know, the elements of what I have to do of getting like an outside mold and then the inside mold for the thickness of it, and like doing there's a whole bunch of steps that I kind of roughly know, and I really want to figure out. But part of me was just like, if I could just get a decent 3D scanner, I would probably be okay with just resin printing the things if I can get an actual 3D model of it made. Instead of, because 3D printing is fine for the usage that we typically have, and like the fact that making them vinyl or whatever is great for mass production, making a bunch. So I don't know. Stuff. We'd be interested in most of the old, anything that looks like is like a, I don't know, just really fashionable stuff.
Oh, I would love to have the that sailor looking outfit, the Isatan sailor wardrobe thing that was out for a while.
Yes. Yeah, the other sailor uniform.
Yeah.
Not sailor, well, the other
it's like
school
a school
uniforms.
uniform, but it looks like a sailor
I would
thing.
love to have one of each of the school uniforms. That would be amazing.
Yeah, well, there was only like 2 that were Isatan, and then there was other
like 5 or 6 different
uniforms, yes.
like all different colorways. Kelly Popper asks, let me just make sure we're doing on time here. Probably, all right. We're gonna the questions that we have there, and then we're gonna call it a day. What kind of accessory clothes that seem to be missing from Smart Doll? Well, I mean, a ton, because he doesn't make that much.
Sandals.
Yeah.
Like more sandal type shoes, like high heeled sandals for dress up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's the stuff that's like Smart Doll. So we did the clothing video this weekend, and we cited 3 stores, 3 websites that you can go to get clothes. Not Etsy, but a little bit higher end, independent, design studios. And I forget who it was. Somebody mentioned, a shop that was like, oh, well, this place has great cosplay and you should you should go look at them. And one of the reasons why, we didn't have enough space, but one of the reasons why there's a lot of websites that we didn't include in this is because most of them are not Smart Doll specific. They say Smart Doll because they're included in a range. Mm-hmm. And
a curvy 1/3 size range.
I would love to see stuff like all of the stuff Dolphy makes for their dolls made for Smart Doll.
Right.
A lot of it might work, but a lot of it doesn't quite. And it ruins, if they're not made perfectly for that doll, it often ruins the aesthetic of any whatever particular costume or dress you're looking at. All right, last one. Caitlin V, what do you do with all the Smart Doll tote bags that come with the dolls? I've got 6 and have no idea how to put them on.
I have a bag of, I take one tote bag and I have the other tote bags all folded into it. Except for dolls dolls like Supergirl and Shiki Ichinose and stuff like that came with a lot of accessories and came with a set. And I kept their boxes together, so their bag is in their box.
Okay. That way it doesn't have to be that bag, but the bag is accounted for them.
I have a signed one, a Happy Birthday Sandy one from Danny that I haven't even hung up on the wall yet.
It's really hard to figure out what it because also we don't throw out the boxes because if I ever want to sell one, we're gonna want to ship it, and I mean those boxes are too good.
I did find a place in our basement closets to stack neatly all of our flattened boxes so that we can go back and get them. But so they're kind of out of the way now. But the bags, I agree, it's kind of hard to decide what to do with them.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for us. I love it. We had our chance. We had our chance to end early, and then we said we challenged them.
Come on, questions.
More questions. It will never end, and we love spending this time with you. My only concern is ever, well, I guess most people will just stop after the party, after the Smarty party, and get their news and not enjoy all the fun extra questions.
Hey, if you got more questions for us, come hang out in the Discord.
Yep. You can. Feel free to, put the question out there. If you've got a specific question for us, mention us in the Discord. And, you can, I'm just John, and I think you're just Sandy. Mm-hmm. So let us know if there's anything we can do to help you, ease into the community better. And otherwise, thank you for spending your Monday with us.
Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.